Welcome, Matt. Thank you for coming to today's interview. And first of all, I'd like to thank the Compliant Group for being a major sponsor of the Australia and New Zealand Shipping and Logistics Conference. So welcome. And what interested you or excited you to be involved in the conference?
Well, yeah, thanks, Paul, for the welcome. And we're actually really excited to be a part of this conference because I think one of the most exciting part about it is we're going to bring two very close trading partners, being in Australia and New Zealand, together and search for synergies and I think help improve our region on the global stage. I think it's fantastic. I've never seen a conference in our industry bring New Zealand and Australia together. And we're really excited to be a part of it.
Oh, that's great. And look, again, the Compliant Group is the gold sponsor of the event. Again, we very much appreciate that. But the reference to the Compliant Group, can you tell us about the group?
Yeah, for sure. So our group is pretty much entirely focused on the international logistics industry. We have compliant customs in Australia and compliant customs in New Zealand, which is a 100% wholesale customs brokerage. So every single one of our customers is a service provider in the industry. We also have CBP that we started in the Philippines in 2017. It is a dedicated logistics focused offshore partner. So we've been in the industry, myself and my partners, we're all 20 years plus in the industry. We saw an opportunity to really put some industry nous and knowledge into a offshore service that would assist our customers in Australia, New Zealand and globally.
Okay, so no freight forwarding at all?
None.
Just pure customs brokerage clearances for other players?
That's correct. No forwarding, no cartage, no warehousing. All we do is customs, and I'd like to think we do it pretty well.
Okay, okay. And tell us a bit more about the offshoring. So how did that come about?
So we actually used an offshoring partner ourselves many, many years ago. We used a couple to try them out in the earlier days of compliant customs. And we just thought there was something missing and potentially there was an opportunity for us to offer a little bit more. So we went to our wholesale customers, namely, many freight forwarders in Australia and New Zealand and brokerages, and said, hey, if we developed an offshore company that could service you perhaps going a little bit further than your current providers, or if you'd thought about using one, what do you think? And they were like, yeah, we'd love it. We love the service you're giving us so far, so fully support you jumping into the offshore space. So that was back in 2017. Now we have 550 staff, just under 550 staff in Manila, I should say in the Philippines, across a few different locations. And we're supplying the industry, importers, exporters, forwarders, brokers, shipping agents, transport companies and warehouse operations with specialised dedicated industry services delivered into them in real time in their companies from the Philippines. So it's import operations, export operations, sales support, custom support, transport, warehouse administration. We support a couple of commodity traders with creating their purchase orders and booking all of their containers and rail options in Australia as well. Pretty much anything that is done with a computer and software can be delivered from Manila.
Oh, that's incredible. So but the customs brokers, obviously, because of the legislative requirements, they're all onshore here in Australia.
Yep.
How many customs brokers do you have here?
Geez, I'm not sure now. I actually just had a meeting yesterday and we have another 4 starting. So with this, we would have to be very close to 50 in Australia and 7 in New Zealand.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what's the different licensing conditions in New Zealand? You don't have to be licensed?
You do need a PIN in New Zealand. It's more of a, I guess, a straightforward process and to a degree a simpler process than Australia. It's a 6-week course from, I think last time I was looking into this, compared to the more drawn out process in Australia. However, yeah, you need a PIN, just like you need a license in Australia to lodge entries.
So if it's not as rigorous in New Zealand, is there still the demand there for your services?
Absolutely, absolutely. Our industry is, I've got a bit of a background myself in recruiting in the industry many, many years ago. And I remember reading some interesting facts, and they haven't really changed, that the logistics industry is the hardest industry to source quality staff in. And Australia and New Zealand is is not what's the word? It's one of the hardest ones to find staff. Customs brokers in Australia and New Zealand are in very high demand. It is very hard to find them, and we're actually struggling ourselves. So this time we've grown. We've probably put on 30 brokers in the last 2 years, and I would say the last round of recruiting was the hardest. Yeah.
Well, you're doing pretty well. From our records, there's about 1,500 licensed customs brokers in the country, so you've got a reasonable percentage of them are compliant.
That's great. And to be honest, we welcome industry, developing more pathways for brokerage, because we do see it as a problem both in Australia and New Zealand. And the industry's already noticing how tight it is for suitably qualified staff. So anything we can do to support the industry in developing more brokers, we're happy to be a part of.
Okay. Look, I recently got approached by an international media group to write an article about labour shortages and artificial intelligence. And what started off as just writing a few comments back to him, I actually sort of wrote a full piece on it with the help of AI, I must add. But it's just fascinating to see where AI can go and how it can help productivity. Do you think it's a positive or a negative? Is it a threat? Is it an opportunity? Is it going to help us in our predicament where we haven't got enough customs brokers across the board, that maybe a smaller number can do more work, bearing in mind the projected growth of trade volume?
Absolutely. We've actually recently partnered with a relatively new AI player that has hit the logistics industry called Clear AI. So throughout my career and throughout my exposure to many different software packages, just with our offshoring business alone, I think we support at last count maybe 35 different software packages globally. We have seen a lot. I've seen a lot of demos. I've reviewed a lot of new products claiming to deliver an AI-focused based solution. The only one we really found that worked really well for us was Clear, by a country mile. So what Clear has done in Australia is it has created an opportunity for brokers to do more, to do it, just pretty much bring all the data in front of the broker and allow them to make a decision quickly, far more quickly than going and searching through the internet and asking customers for more information. You can run it through the software package and it just speeds everything up. Do I think it will, what was your question again? Do I think it will change the industry?
Well, will it give the industry the longevity? Like, we're not getting the influx of customs brokers that we need to meet future growth. Is AI the solution to help our existing numbers meet the requirement, or do we need a whole range of strategies?
I think we need a range of strategies. I think we definitely need new people coming into the industry. AI, I don't think the intention of AI is to, or particularly under Australian border protection rules, like a customs broker, a human customs broker, has to make a decision to lodge an entry based on the data that he or she's provided. To do that. I think AI is a great tool for the industry that can speed up processes in the industry, but I don't think it's going to replace humans as customs brokers, at least in the short term, and probably mid-term as well, to be honest. And I don't think it's going to replace virtually all other human operators in the industry as a whole either.
Now, that was going to be my next question. Where do you see AI more broadly impacting potentially on your offshoring services? Do you see it potentially replacing that or again complementing that?
I see it as complementing it. I think there's power in offshoring. There's cost savings, there's productivity gains compared to local market. There's 140 people in the Philippines. I think the BPO sector in the Philippines is the largest export of that country. So there's certainly not a short, a small number of staff that you can pick from over there. However, with AI, I see the AI complementing the offshoring. Certainly some tasks that offshoring completes for customers will disappear. Because AI will do that, but that will be a tool supporting the offshore operator. So instead of them having to do, for example, a job registration, they now pick up the job in the system after the registration's already been completed by an AI software.
Okay.
Yeah.
So sort of to wrap things up a little bit now, like compliant, like you said, the growth has just been enormous over the last, probably last decade or so, and in more recent years, just getting that exponential growth. Where do you see it all starting and ending? Is there global domination here for the compliant group, or what's the focus?
Compliant Customs has been a very proud 100% wholesale business since 2010 when my partner Clint started it in Australia. We've moved to New Zealand. We are providing wholesale customs clearance services in the UK. And in regards to global domination, I guess all I could say is watch this space. But with our offshoring package, our customs service offering, and our partnership in AI with Clear, I don't see anything holding us back.
Well, Matt, look, thanks again for your time today. Very much look forward to you joining us and joining the panel in August, and we can continue that discussion there with a wider group of delegates. So thanks again.
Great. Thanks, Paul. Thanks very much.